Well, thanks for being here. Welcome to another edition of The Rundown with Ramon. My name is Ramon Ray, publisher of zoneofgenius.com. And you know what we ask for. All we ask is 30 minutes of your time to give you the top 10 tips you need to live your best life or grow your business. You're in for a treat today. Well, you're in for a treat today because I'm here, and I'm in for a treat today because you're here. So with that, let's start The Rundown with Ramon. No matter how you're feeling today, you're not feeling so great, you're feeling great. I hope just a few minutes of The Rundown with Ramon helped you feel just a bit better. Let's start the show right now. All right, ding, 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 ding. Tip number 1, eat healthy on a budget. This is interesting. Eating healthy is important on a budget. I think we all want to do a little bit of that. This is from our friends at Ramsey Solutions. We're talking about some things we can do to be more healthy, eating wise, and do it on a budget. One is budget for groceries. When you go out shopping for your food, put a budget in front of you. Don't just shop. I do that sometimes, and I think I'm going to go out and buy like one item, and I come back and buy 10 items. You ever been through that? You ever do that in your household, in your budget shopping? I'm curious. Let me know. Number 2, plan your meals. Now, personally, I am not a cook. In fact, I don't like to cook, but I must say that planning for your meals, not just getting them haphazard, is one way not only to eat healthy, but to eat well on a budget. If you plan to eat healthy and you plan for a budget, you're going to end up eating a lot healthier. I won't go through this whole list. You can look on this list. You can DM me if you want this list. Cooking at home. Listen, I'll be the first to admit I can go out to eat a lot, but going out to eat will blow your family's budget. So if you want to save money, you want to live on a budget, and oftentimes eating inside can be a bit healthier. People say you may want to consider cooking at home. Let's see a few more tips from Ramsey Solutions. Stop buying processed food. Ooh, I eat quite a bit of processed food, but I'm telling you, if you stop eating processed food, you buy fresher food, it's going to be healthier. Buy in bulk, shop online, be wise about organic groceries, buy generic brand. Listen, there was a time in my life when I thought buying the off brand, that was kind of the black and white, no frills brand, that wasn't so good. But I'm telling you, store in-house brands have changed, and those brands are probably just as good as famous brands that we know we grew up on. Don't shop hungry. My wife tells me this all the time. She says, Ramon, when you're hungry, please don't shop for groceries. Why is that? Because I end up buying more. Now, what about you? When you're hungry and your stomach's growling, don't you end up buying a bit more food? I know I do. I wonder, what about you? Definitely let me know. Another tip that Ramsey Solution has is buy less meat. Be health snack ready. Repurpose leftover ingredients. Now, I know this may be a debate with some of you. Some people may not like using leftover ingredients, leftover food. I kind of do. Doesn't it taste a bit better? You kind of open that food up and it tastes a bit better. What do you think? Are you a leftover food person or not? Let me know. This is The Rundown with Ramon. My name is Ramon Ray, publisher of zoneofgenius.com. We give you top 10 tips to live your best life, grow your business in 30 minutes or less. Let's go on to our next tip today on The Rundown with Ramon. Ding, 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 ding. Don't ignore technology, says Seth Godin. Well, he doesn't quite say it like this. Seth Godin, a friend of mine, thought leader, marketing leader, and more. He says it in a different way, and I want to bring this out because we are surrounded by technology everywhere we go, everywhere we are. And we have a choice that we can decide. Are we going to ignore the technology or are we going to leverage it? Hear what Seth Godin says. Robert Caro, don't know who it is, says never learn to type. He pecks out his books 2 fingers at a time on an electric typewriter. I assume he's some famous person. There are 2 reasons, Seth Godin says, to avoid learning a proven new technology. You know what it can do and how it can change your life, and you don't want it. You don't know what it can do, and you don't want to find out. Seth Godin says the Amish do something interesting. They appoint a few members of their community, try out technology, and let them know how it's changed their life. Report back for good or for bad. And Seth Godin says the end result is that they often make intentional choices to avoid something that they deem counter to their goals. On the other hand, says Seth Godin, check out this. Social media makes many of the people who use it unhappy. So my point, my advice to you as we all consider how or how not we're going to leverage the power of technology is make a decision in how you use it or how you don't use it. The one thing I don't want you to be is a slave to something. Yes, you're watching me on the Rundown with Ramon. Thank you. Don't turn away. However, I do want you to be a bit more thoughtful about how you are or how you're not leveraging the power of technology. Technology can be good for sure, but technology can also suck in your time. It can also be a distraction. It can take you away from your family. It can take you away from the things that you know you need to be doing. Am I right or am I right? Listen, I'd like to know what you think about technology. DM me on Instagram, Ramon Ray Smart Hustle. Let me know what you think. Do you find technology as something that can be something too much for you? Or are you finding that technology, no, it's not too bad for you and you're using it pretty good? I'd like to know what you're feeling about the use of technology or not. Listen, technology is good. As I said, we're watching each other here. We're learning. We're being entertained. Technology has some good medical advances in technology. People live longer. People live healthier. They feel better. We can drive in our cars. But there might be a downside to technology that we need to think about every now and then. I'd like to know what you think about that on the Rundown with Ramon. Ding, 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 ding. Secure passwords are the start of better security. Our friends at the Wall Street Journal talked about this, and I'm going to talk about it over and over and over and over and over again. There are bad actors, bad people out there who want to do nefarious, evil stuff to you. The more secure you are, the more you're aware that people want to do bad stuff to you, the better off you will be. Using passwords that are the same across all your applications, no bueno. Something called two-factor authentication. Everybody should be using what's called two-factor authentication. What this is very simple. When you log on to most any of the popular applications or even unpopular applications today, what they will do is ask you, they will email you, or they will send a text to your phone. That's called two-factor. Not only do you have to log in and know the password, but they will use something else, a third-party device, to make sure you have access to kind of something else as another barrier against theft or against hackers. And sometimes you can use even a third thing as something that you are, and that's biometrics. So my point is, don't ignore security solutions. Don't ignore how you can be more secure. Don't put your head in the sand and say, no, it can't happen to me. This article by the Wall Street Journal written by Nicole Jewin. She also talks about possibly using a password manager. Password manager is one. What it says here, I like these managers because they're built on what's called zero knowledge architecture. The master password that secures your account isn't on company servers. No hacker or company employee could get to it, but also the company can't recover it if you lose it. So password managers store all your passwords in it. You have one master password you use with them, and then that password manager unlocks your application for you. Pretty secure, and I think it's something we all may want to consider. In addition to that, again, going through the article here, talking about the other thing is, as I said, two-factor authentication. That's number two. Number three, change reused and compromised passwords. If you go to many of your browsers, I know Chrome had this and others, it tells you this password has been compromised. It's kind of your fault if you don't change and update your password. And I talked about two-factor authentication already, securing your devices. Listen, if hackers can crack your password and they could get your device, ooh, that's not good. So make sure that you harden. It's called hardening the own device that you're using. Apple's coming out with some things called stolen device protection coming out, and it may be out by the time you watch this. But this is something that can make your iPhone and other devices more secure. I'm sure that other players who are doing this will come out with their versions of this. My point is, take security seriously. Don't take it as a joke. Take it seriously and be more secure in your business and in your life. Listen, my name is Ramon Ray. If you just tuned in, this is the Rundown with Ramon, where in 30 minutes or less, we give you the top 10 tips to help you live your best life or build your best business. I hope you're enjoying the Rundown with Ramon, an eclectic mix of news and tips and ideas to help you live your best life. We just talked about password security. What's going to happen next? Ding, 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 ding. What is a growth mindset? I'm always interested in the topic of growth mindset as written by Jonathan Herrick. This term has been bantered around quite a bit, but I think it's important, something we should all think about and consider. And the writer here talks about the concept of a growth mindset originates from the groundbreaking work of psychologist Dr. Carol Dweck. In her work, she explores the underlying belief that people have about learning and intelligence. She discovered, listen here, individuals who believe their abilities are malleable and can be developed, a growth mindset, approach life, work, and challenges differently than those who believe their abilities are fixed. This is the bottom line. As we go on in life, as we go on and leveraging the power of technology, as we go on in growth, as we get older and older and older, as babies are born, as people die, as we're however we are, we have a choice to make in how we think. We have a choice to make in how we see the world. Do we see the world optimistic? Do we see the world that if milk spills, we can move forward and not let that spilled milk keep us down? Or do we see the world in a very challenging way? Do we see the world in a way that, you know what? I can do this. I can overcome this bad thing happened to me, but I'm going to keep going. Danelle Delgado talks about this, and others, she probably quotes from others, and others say, this didn't happen to me, it happened for me. This is not some hanky-panky, wanky-manky, I made that word up, type of thing, but it's about the mind. Changing our mindset will affect how we look at life. I say this all the time. We have a choice. Do we want to be the thermostat in any given situation, or do we want to be the thermometer? You tell me. The thermostat just takes the temperature and fluctuates depending on what's around it. But the thermostat has the power to change the temperature in the room. And this is part of this principle of growth mindset as I go on here. The characteristics of a growth mindset are what? Embracing challenges. Individuals with a growth mindset are not deterred by challenges. They are intrigued by them. Persisting in the face of setbacks. They are resilient in the face of setbacks. They perceive effort as a path to mastery and understand that obstacles are a natural part of the learning process. Woo, that's powerful. Effort as the pathway to mastery. People with a growth mindset recognize that effort is essential for high achievement. This is powerful. And it's something we all need to grasp. We all need to get a hold of. We all need to understand. Do we learn from criticism? Constructive criticism is seen as valuable feedback. Individuals with a growth mindset are most likely to take feedback on board and use it to improve. This is the power of growth mindset. You don't have to have the same attitude that your daddy had. You don't have to have the same characteristics that your mama had. You don't have to listen to your uncle who may have told you that you're no good. John Acuff talks about in his book, Soundtracks, talks about we have to change our mindset towards things. We have to change how we view things in our past that are negatively pulling us down. I hope this is impacting you in some way. This is the Rundown with Ramon. My name is Ramon Ray, publisher of ZoneOfGenius.com. All we ask is 30 minutes. Give you the top 10 tips that you can live your best life or grow your business. I hope you're enjoying the Rundown with Ramon. An eclectic mix of this, that, and the other, a potpourri dish of things to help you live your best life. I've started 5 companies, sold 3 companies, authored 5 books, and I probably got a few more in me. And all I want to do is help you be the best version of yourself, as my friend Glenn Lundy says, that you can be. Let's go on with the rundown with Ramon. Ding, 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 ding. What are you really measuring? This is important to understand what you're measuring. Pick your measurement, and the impact of your chores will change. Again, quoting here from Seth. Love bringing out his concepts and sharing it with you. Measuring the right thing. Most of us were indoctrinated to believe that completing the chores is the appropriate measure of productivity. But when we just complete what we have to do, the attitude we get is, I did enough to not get fired. I did enough to get promoted. I did enough to get hired by a better firm. I solved a problem for a customer who was frustrated. I changed the system, and now my peers are far more productive. I invented something that creates new possibilities. Do you see how that changes? Do you see how it gets better and better and better? It's more than I did enough to not get fired, but it's thinking, how can we make a difference? And as Seth so wisely ends, pick your measurement, and the impact of your chores will change. Are you doing something, taking a real chore, just to wash the dishes so you don't get yelled at by your mom or dad or by your spouse? Or did you wash the dishes to have a cleaner environment in your home? See what I mean? This is important. Pick your measurement, and the impact of your chores will change. Wow, that is absolutely powerful. Sometimes I find that we may be measuring the wrong thing. Don't you find that sometime you're doing something and you realize, why am I doing this? But when you think of the why, you think about why you're really doing it. It changes perspective. It changes everything. Too many times we do things for the wrong reason. Sometimes I'm sure we do things for the right reason. But if we take the time to do things more often than not for the right reason than for the wrong reason, it will make a difference in our world. It'll make a difference in our world. We train people, children, do this so you can get a gold sticker. I get it. It's that incentive factor. That's how dogs operate, right? It's just to play with the ball. But what if we talk to our kids? What if we ourselves said, no, I'm going to do this because I want to make the world a better place. I'm going to do this because I know it will help me. I'm going to do this because if I learn this, I can help somebody else. It may seem a bit altruistic, a bit woo-woo, but it doesn't have to be. Isn't this what the world's about? How the world goes around to be a better place. I encourage us to think different. I encourage us to think different. And as you can see, the theme seems to be the day today, not intentionally, is changing of our mind a bit, changing how we view things going around. My name is Ramon Ray. This is the Rundown with Ramon. Thanks so much for listening. Let's go on and see what our next rundown tip is. Ding, 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 ding. What happens when employees leave? This is the power of succession planning, written from our friends at Big Ideas for Small Businesses. Barbara Weltman is amazing. Barbara Weltman, if you know her, let her know Ramon's talking about her on the Rundown with Ramon. Succession planning is so important. The particulars of a job may be complex, says Barbara, even more complex than you initially think. Sure, you can detail the aspects of a position, but she says, what are the projects being worked on and where do they stand? Let me tell you this. When an employee leaves, if an employee you have to fire, if things change in your company, being able to have a clear path to succession, who does what when they change, can make all the difference between the success or not success of your business, of your company. If your company's not there, what happens to your employees? What happens to the people who depend on your employees for their sustenance? What happens to the people who are depending on you? You're going to be in a tough, jammed spot. Succession planning, as Barbara Weltman talks about, is so important. And I encourage us to consider that for our companies and for our businesses. Don't just put your head in the sand and think things are going to be fine. No, when somebody leaves, somebody gets fired, somebody wants to change a position, somebody wants to do something different, are you going to be ready? Are you going to be ready for them, that they can continue on in your company, that they continue on serving your customers, that your business will last? And the only way, one way you can guarantee that it lasts is with the power of succession planning. I hope this is speaking something to you. I hope it causes you to go back to your spreadsheets, your CRM, your Rolodexes, your carbon paper, whatever you're doing, your filing cabinets, and look at who's doing what, how are they doing it, and if they go, what happens? This is important to keep in mind. If they go, what happens? Ding, 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 ding. Next up on the rundown with Ramon, interesting article about how Delta Airlines has some cool new technology out. And actually, it's not just Delta Airlines, but Delta Airlines was talking about it recently at a big tech show. But travel is changing. Travel is changing, and I think it should because more and more people are traveling. I travel quite a bit. Don't you want to use oftentimes Wi-Fi on the plane? Some people are testing. Can they make it free? How can they make it? And I don't know, maybe it shouldn't be free. Maybe it is free. But Wi-Fi is an important part. Can travel be changed, and can there be more perks to encourage more people to fly with this or that airline? So you think about Wi-Fi, that's one aspect. What about other parts? What about the check-in part? There's something that Delta and others probably coming to it are working on, that when you get to the airport little kiosk can look at your phone, and there can be the boarding pass and things you need right up there displayed in front of you. So this is how travel can be changed. This is how travel is being changed. But my question for you is as follows. What are you doing to evolve your business? What are you doing to take things to the next level in your company? What are you doing to take the customer experience to the next level? And remember, that is what it's all about. It's about the customer experience. How do you make people feel in your business? How do you get them to come back again and again and again and again and again? And part of that is the customer experience and leveraging the power of technology to do that. How can you make it easier for somebody to work with you? How can you make it easier for somebody to want to come back for you? How can you make it easier for somebody to say yes to your business? Because every yes to your business, they're saying implicitly no to the competition. And that means you can build generational wealth. And not just for yourself, you're solving that customer's problem. And they go hand in hand in hand. My name is Ramon Ray. Thanks for being here. If you just joined, this is the Rundown with Ramon. 30 minutes we have to give you 10 tips to help you live your best life or grow your business. Ding, 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 ding. How really listening makes you a better human. I want to give a shout out to Carrie Jack. I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but he talks about becoming a better human. He did an interview with, who did he interview with? Greg Witz, W-I-T-Z, founder of Witz Education. If you know Greg or Carrie Jack, let them know Ramon's talking about him. But I thought it was interesting that he talks about the importance of just great communication. And he talks about the concept of ego status, different facets of our personality that influence our behavior and communication, from the critical parent to the nurturing parent, the spontaneous child to the withdrawn and angry child, and finally, the rational and logical adult. Understanding these states is key to emotional intelligence. Once you're dialed in on your emotional intelligence, the world becomes much different. Might I say, the world may even become a better place. Understand the type of person you are. What does your emotional intelligence look like? Do you get angry quick? Do you hold things in bitterness? What kind of person are you? It will make a massive impact in your life if you can find out what kind of person you are. I'm working on that. I need to be a better husband, be a better father. What about you? Ding, 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 ding. Next up on the Rundown with Ramon. Interesting. 7 ways to be more productive. How many people here want to be more productive? Let me know, by the way. Do you find that you're a productive person, or do you know you need a lot of help being more productive? DM me on Instagram, Ramon Ray Smart Hustle. Let me know what's going on in your world and being more productive. I would like to know. Tracking time meticulously for a week can uncover areas of improvement. Do you even track your time? Do you track what you're doing, how you're spending your time? Scheduling consistent sleep and tackling tough tasks first are keys to a more productive week. Track your time. Ask yourself, what would you like to spend more time doing if you had that choice? Schedule your following week on Fridays. I do that, maybe not Fridays, but Saturday, Sunday. I go through my calendar and look at what's coming up this week. And you may want to consider doing the same. Productivity is a choice. One more thing I want to mention here, ding, 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 ding. Don't rely on just one technology. What's your backup plan? Wall Street Journal talks about leveraging the power of AI was the case here, the issues that AI has had in the past few weeks, at least OpenAI. But the point here lends to a bigger issue for all of us small business owners. Ask yourself this. What's your backup plan if your technology fails? What's your backup plan of what you rely on in your working? Is your business going to be hosed? Is your business going to just be trashed? I hope not. Think of the backup plan for technology. And listen, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. This is The Rundown with Ramon. If you're liking this, check us out at zoneofgenius.com. And I want you to remind yourself to be clear on what you really, really want in life and in business. Understand what you want. Ask yourself, do you even want to be in business? Maybe being in full-time entrepreneurship is not for you. There's no music. There's no soundtrack. This is not Shark Tank. There's no commercial break in life or business. There is on a show, but not in business. You got to just grind. Ask yourself, are you hungry enough to get to where you want to be in life? I hope you're not selling too cheap. I hope you're selling at a premium. And last but not least, ask yourself, what do you do best? Because when you know what you do best and you can align that to your goals, align that to your desires, you live in a great life. Listen, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. This is The Rundown with Ramon. 30 minutes to give you the top 10 things you need to know to live your best life or start your business. Reach out to me, let me know I can serve you and help you. DM me on Instagram, Ramon Ray, Smart Hustle. Let's make the world a better place because we need you. Somebody's counting on you. Somebody's counting on you. Who will lose if you don't win? Because I heard you know, go God. Have a great day. Be blessed and take care. Thanks for listening to The Rundown with Ramon.